Hello, my loves. You guys are loving my shorts, which makes me want to talk more because I don't know if y'all noticed by now, I like to talk a lot. So when you like a short, when the shorts start getting views, I feel like I need to elaborate. So I recently posted a short and really it spoke about just being kind to yourself. We really don't realize that we are our worst critic. And I talked about that in the short. But now, girl, we're going to talk about it a little bit more. We're going to talk about it because I think it really goes deeper than just, love yourself. You're being mean to yourself. It goes in the mental health field. It goes so much deeper than that. And I feel like I address that on an everyday basis when I'm talking, especially to my teenage girls. There's so many things about like what our inner critic tells us that it is up to you to determine if it is helpful for you or it is harmful for you. Let's get to it. I'm talking too much about the wrong things. So first things first, what even got me to talk about that short? I was having a tough day. Now, y'all, I've been on this real good kick about like eating healthy, feeling good, working out. Like when I tell y'all in the prime. And the one moment where I felt like really down in the dumps and everybody was just like giving me the middle finger. The world was saying, I hate you. I was like, what am I going to do to make myself feel better? And y'all want to know one of the first things I thought of? I thought, I'm going to go out. Mind you, I have not ate out in a long time. And it has been very intentional. But my first thought to myself was like, maybe I'll go. I don't even remember what I wanted. Maybe it was like something sweet. Maybe it was like, I don't even know. And at that moment when I thought to myself, let me go to this place that I've been avoiding for a long time because I've been working on myself. Let me go to that place to make me feel better. And in that moment, I was like, wait a minute. Why would I go to a place I've been avoiding because it was no good for me from the start? Talk about it. It was no good for me from the start. And I'm going to go to that place to make me feel better. And the crazy part about it in that moment, I felt like it was an automatic response because I didn't really even want the thing. It was almost like because as a person, we're so programmed to when certain things happen, this is what we go to. We just go to it even when it doesn't align with our life or doesn't make sense anymore. And that's exactly what happened. I was just kind of like, I'm going to go to this place and do this thing, even if I don't really want it. Girl, that don't make sense. So my thoughts went a step further with that. It also said, no, it doesn't make sense. And you're being mean to you. You've worked so hard not to be in that place anymore. Why would you go back there? Why would you backtrack? And I don't know about y'all, but when you stop doing a habit, especially when it was so hard to break and I don't want to say I was intentional about it, but it was a point where it was like I was so programmed to doing that I was ready to do it again, that it's like you fought so hard to break free of those chains. Why would you go back? And that's a whole nother conversation because I already know the answer to that for myself. But for you to ask yourself, why would you go back? You've worked so hard to get to where you are. Don't let outside things that you can't control, that obviously most likely gonna beat you down anyway. Let's be for real. The world isn't nice and it's gonna beat us down. Why are you joining in the fun? Why your last defense, as I said in my short, you are your last defense. Why are you gonna beat yourself down too? You have to show up for you. And that also means that present you has to tell that inner critic, cut it out. I kind of already knew, the dynamics of the inner critic, what it looks like, how it is for me. I get that. But there are so many, there's so many type of dynamics that an inner critic can be. So prime example, perfectionist. It's always saying, even when you've done something that is amazing, that is great, that maybe you've never done before, or you stepped out of the box, it's still picking at you. It's still telling you what you did wrong. It's not acknowledging the fact that you have done something new or something different. Baby, you gotta go. And then let's talk about it. There's even another one, and this is the one kind of that I even just spoke about, the inner controller, the one that tries to control a certain behavior so it doesn't feel the pain that is happening right then and there. So in the moment for me, something bad, annoying, child, I can't even tell you what it was now, but in that moment, I was under so much stress that I was about to respond with a certain behavior so I didn't have to deal with what's in front of me. Like, I just thought, it kind of made me think 600-pound life. In that moment for me, I was so willing to go to food or a sweet treat or something. And I know that sounds extreme, but it wasn't about the fact that I wanted the thing. It was about the fact that it struck some type of emotion in me that I was willing to go and do something that I literally fought to not do. Kind of like if you used to smoke, or or any sort of substances. And again, that's such a strong comparison, but the fact that it was like my body called to do it just because I was uncomfortable. That's crazy. An inner critic for Ashley? No, ma'am. We're not doing it. I rebuke it, and I said no because I didn't do it. And then, child, don't even get me started on the next one. The destroyer. That is the inner part of our critic that wants to tear you down. It hits your self-confidence. It hits your self-worth. It tells you all these negative things about yourself. And this is the one that I can't stand when I talk to my teenage girls. I hear it so much. And I'm not saying boys don't experience it as well, but I truly do feel like there's a special heart, like a special place in my heart for girls, because the society that we live in today, the things that we see, is so heavy. And I know it's heavy for everyone, but I remember being a teenage girl. I think that's what it is. It just really hurts my heart. And it is so, it feels so common. But for anybody who's struggling like with self-worth, self-confidence, and love, just know that when it comes to it, there are different strokes for folks. Let's say someone comes to you and they say, oh, well, I don't like vanilla. Does that mean that the whole world don't like vanilla? No, there are people who like vanilla. There are people who don't like vanilla. There are people who like chocolate. There are people who like Napoleon. There are people who like sherbet. Some people don't even like ice cream altogether. They like sherbet. They like gelato. There is somebody for everybody. And it is about you liking things about you. So when your inner critic does that, it literally is to tear you down. And I'm going to get off the topic of destroyer because it's already been ridiculously too long, and y'all get the point. It just really sits with me. So that inner critic, bye. And then there's the underminer, who I feel like a little bit goes with the inner critic. This is the person that really pulls on your self-confidence, might be telling you that what you've done is not a big deal, really downplaying you. But let me tell you right now, you are the sugar honey iced tea. This inner critic is not your friend, and they're wrong. And then, this one is the guilt tripper. So this is the one who goes back and thinks about your past mistakes and continues to remind you of them. At the end of the day, you are human. And the thing is about past mistakes and being reminded of them, as long as you changed, what does it matter? I mean, like, okay, I didn't know then what I know now, and when I know better, I do better. So, and think about it this way. If you would have never had those experiences, if you would have never made those mistakes, where would you be? Would you be where you are now? No, because we all make mistakes. We do not come on this earth knowing everything. It's literally the opposite. We come on this earth knowing nothing. We learn and feel like we know something, and then we realize we know nothing again. Okay. And then the last one is kind of like, they call it the molder. So really, this is person that's telling you who you should be. And please just give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. It is a process to be who you want to be. And guess what, y'all? Guess what? I'm about to put you on game for real. When you become who you think you want to be, you realize there's another place that you want to improve. Us as humans, I personally don't think we're ever content. We want more. Or things change. Telling you who you should be, you are exactly who you need to be in the moment that you are in. You're exactly who you need to be. This is a marathon. It is not a race. You do not have to rush, because if you rush, you're also not going to be where you need to be anyway. You're rushing for what? Inner critic. For what? So those are just some examples of like what an inner critic is, what they might say or look like in your head. But honestly, I want you guys to leave with something. I want you to ask yourself, for this inner critic, who does it sound like most in your life? And ask yourself, do you want to be talking to that person every day? Do you like this person? Does that person have your best interest at heart? So in a nutshell, that's literally what went on in my head to even get to the point of making a lesson learned. And I know that is, I feel like low-key sometimes it's delusional, because I'll have a whole, I don't want to sound, crazy is not the word I want to use. I do not want to sound ridiculous, but in my head, when something like that happens, I dissect it. Like, what's really going on? What's happening? And so that conversation, to a certain extent, it was what was happening. I thought to myself, we need to know this. People as a whole need to know this, because whoever is watching this video, me talking in this video, we are amazing. And you're the enemy. And you got to go, because we got things to do. We got betterment to absorb and exude. Okay? So yeah, you got to go. And I'm coming for you. The person watching this video is coming for you. Just make sure that you continue to have compassion for yourself. And one of the first things also too, recognizing if something is helping you or not, because you can't change nothing if you don't even recognize what's happening. So have compassion, recognize what is happening, and practice, practice, practice. Because the more you practice, the more steps you take away, the further this thing is from you. Anywho, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Comment any of your thoughts down below. Y'all already know I like to talk, so what is we doing? Like, comment down below. Make sure that you like this video, and I'll be having another one soon. So until next time, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in another short next week. Bye.